Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Didier from Cork Wars here in beautiful Napa Valley. And this month, I have the privilege to host Angela Stamp and newly appointed chef Jason Toji from Press Restaurant in St. Helena, California. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
And Angela, you're one of the sommelier at Press. And tell me a little bit about your background, where you're from, and why did you come into that line of job, especially sommelier?
So I'm originally from Fayetteville, Arkansas, Southern girl, and got out of high school and not quite sure what I wanted to do when I grew up. So I started traveling around the world, and took me to France and Spain, and started falling in love with the culture of food and wine, and it just stuck. I realized that I could do something that I loved and make money doing it. So 20 years later, here I am.
Fantastic. And listen, where were you before that?
I was living in Huntington Beach, going to get my credentials to become a teacher, and I found that this industry was something that I really respected and I loved, and decided to pursue my goal and going to culinary school for a long time. And that's the reason why I moved up here to Napa Valley to go to the CIA Grace STEM.
Okay, good. Mm-hmm. Good. So today we're going to be talking more about your position, your job as a sommelier, and the importance of food and wine pairing. I think there is an art beyond that, and I'd like to definitely explore that a little bit more. And give us maybe some of the key points on how you guys are working together. You create a menu, and you create a wine list, and how the intricacy of this relationship between both of you.
Well, I think for our wine list to begin with is unique in that it's all Napa Valley. Mm-hmm. We kind of have the philosophy that if you're in Bordeaux, you drink Bordeaux. If you're in Burgundy, you drink Burgundy. And when you're in Napa, you drink Napa wines. That being said, Napa is best known for their Cabernets. And so we specialize in Cabernets as well as older vintages, going back to 1947. Yeah. Us being a steakhouse, it's the perfect marriage between what he does in the kitchen and the wines that we sell the most of. I think also what he does and what we specialize in the kitchen is working with fresh seasonal ingredients. Yeah. So, it's easy for us to kind of change up our menu and wine list, wines by the glass, seasonally, because of the changes that we have on the menu as well.
What is the extent of your wine by the glass program? How many wine by the glass you guys are offering?
We right now have about 20 wines by the glass.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So, and for you, that gives you a lot of opportunity of creating. So what comes first, the dish or the wine?
Together.
Hopefully,
yeah. We try to work together and highlight both.
Is there like any ingredients that you just hate working with? Maybe like going with vegetables. Red wines. Asparagus. What is there like some? Are you guys kind of playing safe and avoiding some of those pairing maybe, or you just like embrace everything and because you know that eventually there is a wine that you will find that is available somewhere, somehow in Napa Valley, and this is for your task, your mission to find it.
Well, I think that, talking about ingredients first, I think one of the hardest ingredients are certain salads that contain vinegar. That's a tough one, and certain vegetables like asparagus. But I also believe that, wine should be fun and wine should be easy, and that there should be no general rules necessarily, and if you should drink what you like with whatever you want. Yeah. It doesn't have to be so complicated.
Yeah. But what do you think? I mean, that's but do you like wine? You must like wine. You're not.
I do. Yeah. I love wine. Yeah. I do love wine. And I think that's the exciting thing with pairings or things that bring out certain qualities in the wine as well as the food.
Yeah.
It's a very liberating experience when you get to enjoy a glass of wine with with either a great steak or certain produce that's in season. And that's the great thing about our restaurant is that, is a seasonality.
And you guys have a garden, or so you grow pretty much your own produce?
We do. We get a lot of our produce from the Mount Meter farms.
Okay, yeah, sweet. So, and the fact of liking wine and drinking wine, that helps a little bit also your sense of creativity. I mean, you know what you know the basic rules, and from that you can extrapolate. You can go push this envelope a little bit more, or like go the opposite way.
Yes,
and just play with that.
And that's the fun part. We just try not to mess up the ingredients that we're getting in.
How often the menu change at the press?
We have a pretty standard menu, but we like to change it up. Coming with the seasons and throw a couple specials on. We go along with the seasons. And hopefully, people enjoy that.
So you embrace your challenge, and there isn't any produce or any vegetable that you cannot match with the, you cannot pair with the wines.
I think that's the challenge. That's the great challenge that comes along with the territory and the designing part. That's the artistic part. And
so tell me, talk to me about a little bit. What is a night of service for you at press?
Night of service at press is just walking up to a table, asking.
What time you start?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
We're open from 5 to 10.
But you're coming up at like 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock, right?
Get ready. There's always lots of administrative stuff to do, getting new wines on the list, updating our iPad list, up to date, stocking, the basics. The fun part about the job truly is, then going up to a table and helping them find the perfect wine for exactly the mood that they're in, what they're dining, or the food that they're having that night. That's the real joy in my job, is finding the perfect wine for someone.
That's awesome. So do you, being here in St. Helena and one of the top restaurants in St. Helena, do you find your clientele to be knowledgeable about wine? I know you get a lot of locals, so you're going to have a lot of wineries and the winemakers coming up. But do you find, people coming up and the tourists, being like extremely knowledgeable, especially with Napa wine, since this is the only wines that you guys have on the list?
We get absolutely all kinds of people, from absolute beginners to winemakers all the time coming into the restaurant. So all kinds, and that's what makes the job fun too, is to be able to educate people who are just beginners and try to get them to try something new perhaps, and then also having winemakers and industry folks in the restaurant who are teaching me something about wine. So all kinds.
So do you guys have a corkage policy at the restaurant?
We do. $25 per bottle. If you buy a bottle in a restaurant, then we will waive that.
Let's go like a little bit like something a little bit more political, maybe. Let's talk about maybe tipping. So let's talk about tipping. There is always big conversation about do you tip on beverage, on wine, and all that. A bottle of wine is $600. Do you tip 15, 20%, or you tip 10%, or especially in a restaurant like yours where there is a team of sommeliers. That's not just you. I mean, there is like a group of sommeliers. So you guys are professional. You definitely delivering a service that is not available. People want to talk to you. You are professional. So what you think is fair?
Well,
come on, don't be shy.
Probably all my servers and all other somms in the valley are going to hate me for saying this, but I think that there's I don't know what the number is necessarily, but I don't think that I think you should tip on wine without question. If you buy a $100 bottle of wine and you normally tip 20% and you're tipping $20 on that seems reasonable. I do think that there's a line somewhere that it becomes excessive if you buy a $1,000 bottle of wine.
Yeah, but you can afford it though.
That's true.
That's,
but really then tip $200 just for opening that bottle of wine? I would like to say great, fantastic.
But if you're the one that recommend the wine and do the work, and then let's say there is decanting involved into that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let's say this is why not?
I think that if you have the money to buy a $1,000 bottle of wine, then you're probably right. But I think it can get excessive.
Yeah.
But I also, if you give great service to a table and teach them something and decant things for them and create this wonderful experience for them, then, the somm or the server should be rewarded for that.
Is there like during the course of service, what do you say that, how long do you spend with one table in average? Like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes?
It varies. Sometimes, it's interesting on our wine list because we have over 800 Cabernets on the list, just Cabernets. So you walk up to a table and someone, like, what are you interested in tonight? And they say Cabernet. Well, sometimes it's going to take a little while to explain or to pinpoint exactly what Cabernet they're looking for. So, some people don't want to chat or talk. They just, want a bottle of wine and they want it quickly, and others are really interested in the whole somm experience and kind of diving into our extensive list and talking about the nuances and differences of vintages and appellations. So that can be fun.
Your favorite tools, glassware. What is there, like, what kind of glassware you like to use?
We use Riedels, and I think that it makes an absolute difference and key to proper.
So, do you guys have like a different glassware for all the different wines?
We do. We use white glasses, Burgundy glasses for Pinots, Cabernet or Bordeaux glasses for our Cabernets. The whole Riedel series.
So this month, you guys, you picked a Chardonnay to go with the first course. So, tell us about the first course and the Chardonnay in a very few words, and why you picked this one here.
You want to talk about the crab cake first?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. So we have a blue crab coming from the Gulf, as well as a Maine lobster, 50-50. And we serve that with an avocado emulsion. No fillers, very basic, very clean.
I did like it because when I received the recipe, I mean, I must tell you that, it looks so easy to make, and this is exactly what I'm looking for. And I believe my members, friends are looking for that, something that is, very tasteful and easy to prep, really.
Yes, yes.
And you went with that with a Chardonnay.
Yes, I'm a huge fan of Mayacamas Chardonnays. I like them because they're actually not done in the traditional sense of Chardonnay, Napa Chardonnay, or modern Chardonnays now. Very clean, crisp, not overly oaked. There's mainly a neutral oak in this, and no malolactic fermentation, so it's not that real rich, buttery style of Chardonnay. It's very
vibrant,
and nice acid, and just a great summer Chardonnay, I think.
That's awesome. So, and then after that, the second entry was the duck.
Yes.
And I love duck. I mean, great.
I agree with you.
So, shoot, tell us about that, because also very, very easy to make.
Yeah.
And I just really, that was pretty cool. So go ahead, tell us about that.
So it's a Liberty duck coming from Sonoma County. It's a Peking duck, which
was it a French duck before, or
I think it originated in Denmark, and it's but the flavor is very meaty, I would say, and the texture is very nice. But we just seared it off, rendered the fat a little bit to get a nice crispy skin, and sliced it and served it with some blueberries. And
I haven't had the opportunity to do it, but this is definitely something I'm gonna do, and then for my friends, and I love that. I mean, just a really, I'm about to do some coffee and all that, but I will make sure that I'm making that as well. And on this one here, you went with something that is pretty unusual, a bit different. That's not a Cabernet Sauvignon, that's not a Pinot, that's not, or even necessarily a Côte d'Ivoire varietal per se. And what is it?
It is the Calder Wine Company Charbonneau, which is such a fun wine. And I like to drink things that are kind of off the beaten path and something different as well. And, here in Napa Valley, to find something other than Chardonnay or Cabernet is fun. This is made by Rory Williams, who is a really fantastic young winemaker, son of John Williams from Frog Sleep. And Charbonneau is interesting because it's actually a varietal that's been growing in Napa Valley since
Centuries.
yeah. And these vines are 40 years old, coming from the Meyer Vineyard up near Calistoga. And I like it because it's medium-bodied to heavy-bodied. It's just really well balanced. It's got nice fruit in it, but it's got this kind of spicy, meaty quality as well that I thought would go really well with the duck. So it's something different.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
delicious. He makes Riesling and Charbonneau only, and
that's very well priced too. I mean, that's pretty cool. Yeah, really enjoy that. So when going back to testing, when you guys test the wine, do you believe in a biodynamic calendar? Like today, this is a food day. This is great to test the wine. But yesterday, but yesterday, well, I mean, do you believe in biodynamic?
I believe in.
Or there is a lot of crap around that.
No, I mean, I know that a lot of winemakers put all of their faith into that, and I respect that. I do believe in sustainable practices and being as organic as you possibly can. Yeah.
What about you? Is it important for you? I mean, I'm sure this is biodynamic in your garden in the back, so you're not, you're not using.
I believe that. I believe that we should treat the environment with respect and go along with that.
At the risk of losing a crop. If there is a bad,
I'm not a winemaker.
But even for farmer, I mean,
it's a big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has to make a living, but we just need to be as conscious as possible to, protect our beautiful valley.
Yeah. So, what is your favorite wine? What you like the most? If the top. You drink you drink California Napa, or you drink French, Italian, or
California. We only drink Napa.
Exactly. Something older than the mid 70s.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
will
it.
say, I'm, the fantastic thing about working at Press is getting to explore the world of these wonderful Napa vintage Cabernets. Wines from the 40s and 50s and 60s from Napa that are so amazing and just beautiful.
Are you going to try to be a MS or not?
I have gone down that road a little ways with the study program there. I'm kind of interested in the Master of Wine program a little bit more, but we'll see.
Because it seems to me,
my goal is just to keep learning and as much as I can. And
because it seems to me like working for a press which is only Napa wines.
It's hard.
Yes.
Yeah. But
that'd be the challenging.
Yeah, the next thing, I would have to move to Bordeaux next or Burgundy.
Yeah,
just
or a big restaurant like very Las Vegas somewhere. Yeah. So, what is your favorite wine in Napa?
In Napa?
Yeah, since we talk Napa, what one just really brought tears to your eyes?
Probably going back to what I was saying a few minutes ago, the old Inglenooks from the 60s.
You find that still? You guys have that on the wine list?
Beautiful. They're stunning.
How much is that?
They range from, they're actually not, to be able to drink a wine that's 55 years old, they range between 300 and 600 on the
Okay, not bad. Yeah. Sounds good.
But really beautiful.
Yeah. I have a friend of mine from Indiana. He's a member, and he came by and spent a week here and visit. And Carl Tiedemann. Hey, good morning, buddy.
Good morning.
Do you have any question for sommelier or chef?
I certainly do. We just we do a wine blog back in Indiana, and one of the things that people ask me a lot is, how do I read a wine list? What advice can you give to us amateurs, if you will, about how to tackle a wine list, especially one like the size of Press with 800 or 900 wines on it? What advice can you give us?
Well,
besides asking you.
I was about to say, ask the somm. I mean, we're the human version of the wine list, which makes it a little easier. But, I think that in anything, like when you learn about wine, the most important thing to me, like the more I learn about wine, the more that when I go into a restaurant and look at a wine list, I can find the best wine for the best value. So I think, you know, you need to go in, kind of know what varietal you're looking for, know what you're having for dinner, you know, white or red, light or heavy, and then, you know, look at a particular price point. You know, I think that that's a really important thing for me too, is to look at a wine list and make sure that I'm getting, that it's priced properly and I'm getting a good value for the wine that I'm going to order.
Do you have a go-to white wine and a go-to red wine?
I have lots of go-tos.
Well,
I mean,
I'm just trying to get your
no,
secrets.
it depends on my mood. It depends on the season. Obviously, in summer, I drink a lot more whites. In winter, I drink a lot more reds. I love Napa wines, but I'm a big Italian wine drinker as well. So I love Pinot Noirs for reds.
Sure.
And I think that
You have a favorite?
sparkling goes with everything.
Do you have a favorite Pinot?
Oh, goodness. I have lots of favorite Pinots. I think right here in the Valley, actually, someone that's producing just awesome Pinot Noir is Schoolhouse up on Spring Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
Really interesting, kind of old school, old world Pinot Noir.
Great
style.
story too. Yeah.
And they're fantastic.
Yeah.
John and Nancy are just fantastic people.
Yeah.
I'll share my line with you. People ask me, what's your favorite wine? And I go, the one that's open in front of me with my friends. That's the easy way to get out of it. So.
All right, so on this fantastic note, you know, I want to thank you very much for coming, and I really enjoy talking to you guys, learning quite a bit. As a sommelier and as a chef, any thought about making your own wine here in California, in Napa?
Oh,
Maybe?
gosh. I've worked a couple of harvests here in Napa with different winemakers and just to learn the bigger picture. And I would love someday to learn more and be a part of that. Kelly and Scott, the other two sommeliers at Press, are making their wines right now, a Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. So maybe I can learn from them and help them out. But
about you, chef?
I would just like to tag along. Yeah. And not do any of the grunt work. That would be nice.
Well,
that's where you have to start out.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining. I want to thank you again, Angela and Jason from Press, Sommelier and the Chef on Press. Thank you to Carl Tiedemann from Indiana. I want to also thank you to ToutSuite for helping us to put this on the website. Thank you also to Barisono, which is a fantastic partner, and to Reader, because we're doing a lot of Reader. So, ladies and gentlemen, till next month. Next month we have Mustard Grill, an institution, in my opinion, in Napa Valley, and so we're going to see what they're up to, and I'm very excited to have them as well. Thank you very much.
Cheers.